primary specialist John Garrity lives in Atlanta, Georgia with his alienated spouse, Allison, and their diabetic child, Nathan. He gets back to watch the close Earth passing of an as-of-late found interstellar comet named Clark, alongside his family and neighbors. While at the supermarket, John gets a computerized DHS message saying that he and his family have been chosen for crisis shielding. He then, at that point, gets back similarly as a comet part is seen entering the environment on live TV. Recently expected to land in the sea close to Bermuda, the part rather strikes Tampa, Florida, disintegrating a large portion of the state. John then, at that point, gets a call with guidelines to go to Robins Air Force Base for a departure flight, as Clark is uncovered to now be on an immediate crash course with Earth. The whole planet will be barraged with many sections inside the following 2 days in a destructive occasion, with one part huge enough to cause a terminal occasion. John, Allison, and Nathan get together and escape, incapable to take any other individual with them as they would denied board. At Robins, the family is provided ID wristbands to board, yet Nathan's insulin gets abandoned in the vehicle. At the point when John goes to recover it, Allison and Nathan are accompanied off the base after the last salient is found, excluding the family. John returns and gets onto a plane yet rapidly leaps off after acknowledging Allison and Nathan were presumably abandoned. As John leaves the base, a terrified crowd breaks in, obliterating a few clearing planes when gunfire touches off fly fuel. Getting back to the vehicle, John finds Allison's note saying she and Nathan are going to her dad's home in Lexington, Kentucky. Subsequent to getting clinical supplies from a stole-from store, Allison and Nathan get a ride from Ralph and Judy Vendo, just for Ralph to capture Nathan, sadly, to utilize him and the wristbands to load onto a flight. John hitches a ride on a truck where a young fellow named Colin becomes friends with John and says they're gone to Osgood, Ontario, where confidential planes are traveling to Greenland, the obvious departure site. Nonetheless, another man endeavors to take John's wristband and irritates him over being brought into the world in an unfamiliar country. John is initially Scottish, prompting a battle with makes the truck crash and kill Colin, and John is compelled to kill the man justifiably. At another air terminal, the Vendos endeavor to act like Nathan's folks, yet are captured when the officers rapidly find that Nathan isn't theirs. Allison and Nathan are brought together soon after at a close-by FEMA camp. The next morning, John discovers that millions have died in worldwide effects and that the biggest piece will have effect in roughly 24 hours. Taking a vehicle, John arrives at his father by marriage, Dale's home, and Nathan and Allison show up soon after. The family discover that the evacuees are being shipped off a complex of underground shelters close to Thule Air Force Base in Greenland. The family has barely sufficient opportunity to arrive at Osgood, so John and Allison choose to go while Dale chooses for stay behind and gives them his truck. In upstate New York, the family is trapped, no doubt having a difficult time. As a shower of liquid trash downpours down, they take shelter under an underpass, then, at that point, proceed to Canada. It is accounted for that Clark's biggest piece, which is 9 miles wide, will affect Western Europe. The family show up at the Osgood Air Terminal scarcely so as to load up the last trip out. As they arrive at Greenland, a comet section strikes off the coast, and the shockwave makes the plane accident land close to Thule, killing the pilots. The Garrittys and the other travelers banner down a tactical truck and enter the fortification complex similarly as the biggest piece enters the climate and effects, destroying civilization. After 9 months, The shelters endeavor to connect with other expected survivors as different urban communities are displayed in absolute ruin, including Sydney, Mexico City, Paris, and Chicago. The Garrity's and different survivors leave the safe house to a drastically changed scene, and Greenland connects with different stations all over the planet. All are feeling better to hear one another and report that the climate is at long last clearing, allowing the survivors the opportunity to reconstruct.